While I largely haven't had a positive opinion about BT21 World Convergence, I can't deny that Bandai has made leaps and bounds in regards to the changes of sets in general. In today's essay-style discussion video, I want to define how Bandai has previously created sets to what they do now. To understand the topic, we have to go back to the beginning. No, like, literally back to the beginning, when the ideas and motif of Digimon wasn't about specific archetypes, but the flexibility of Digivolution lines. In one regard, I can definitely appreciate how Bandai deviated from Hyper Colosseum, one of the more successful Digimon card games that did well in Japan. But when it migrated here in the West, let's just say things weren't quite as positive, and ultimately rules, format of cards, effects, and more were changed. In this particular card game, Digimon had a specific Digivolution requirement. And while yes, Digimon have some requirements here as well, going from level 3 to 4, and 4 to 5, and so on, Digimon from Digimon Digibattle had to specifically digivolve from their canon Digivolution forms. Meaning if you wanted to go into Greymon, one of your options to digivolve into it was probably an Agumon. The fact is, Digimon in the 2021 release of the Digimon card game were flexible in that any red level 3 Digimon could digivolve into a red level 4 and so on. Monodramon, for example, could go into Birdramon, Greymon, and more, not just Strike-Dramon. It's because of this that early sets in the Digimon card game really didn't have a sense of direction. In fact, from a player perspective, it was usually tailored towards a specific series. New Evolution, for example, being primarily Adventure Reboot, while Ultimate Power was a hodgepodge of numerous characters and villains. This is where in the early sets of Digimon, sets weren't designed to function in a sealed setting. In all honesty, sealed during pre-release felt like an afterthought that hadn't been properly designed around, which for players who don't remember where we're at in regards to the timeline, BT4 Great Legends was where sealed started happening. But from this perspective, whenever you clicked on a set, it never really felt like you could build a complete deck with just half a case. This is where as time progressed, BT7 Next Adventure would probably be one of the first sets that had some archetypes that were self-contained. Meaning if you bought a few boxes, chances are you could build a deck out of 60 or 70% of the cards. While you might argue that's still not much of a deck, you have to keep in mind that with a hybrid set, you're definitely going to be running some of the best tamers in the form of Davis Motomiya and TK Takashi. And while Bandai would continue this trend of sets offering maybe 20 to 30% of changes for older decks, the first set that you could honestly build a deck with just cards from the core set itself was BT10. Cross Encounter would debut Cross Wars Digimon, and in all honesty you could build the entire deck with just cards from this set. Blue Flare even. And while true, you now have Cross Wars manga related cards as well to the mix, this also elevated Blue Flare and Crossheart as well. This is where I can 100% appreciate Bandai for what they've been doing with the more recent sets. And thankfully, you have sets where even though they were combined sets, Bandai didn't do us dirty by separating archetypes by keeping them together. Take Special Booster 2.0 and 2.5. In 2.0, they could have separated the Royal base cards, but they didn't. They provided all aspects of the deck in one neat little package. But with sets like 2.5, you had BT20's entirety in the set, which meant that you had the chance to fully build out Chronicles, Necromon, Excel, and Examon with about 80 to 90% of its contents there. A far cry from what the 20 to 30% numbers used to be. It's because of the ability to build complete cores, or almost complete cores, that with the newest pre-release of BT21, Bandai has shifted to not just providing us the consumer as much as possible to build the deck, but slowly improving the experience of sealed as well. With the Adventure starter decks, after playtesting this archetype, you could legitimately play the deck with just 2 of each starter and call it a day. It is that cohesive. Not to mention, I'm the kind of individual who was uncomfortable with it mainly because I like consistency option cards that find specific color cards. But does Adventure need it? No! It already has built-in ways for consistency. And although BT21 offers additional Adventure support cards, this is where researching the cards themselves and finding what works best for you as a player will ultimately determine how you build the deck. Deck profile videos shouldn't be about this is the only correct way to play the deck, but rather this is a template of what worked for me to take the guesswork out for you. BT21 also takes sealed design one step further, in that unlike previous sets who don't really mesh with one another, introducing the hero archetype is yet another change in how Bandai is designing their set and game by making things more generic. While true, Hero and Adventure largely abandon their old support cards, it's nice to see that you don't necessarily need to have a Greymon that plays Tai Kamiya, a Garurumon that plays Matt, a Birdramon that plays Sora, etc. No. These are now simplified by cards like Kabuterimon and Angemon who can play any tamer with the Adventure trait. And because the hero support cards work with each other, it's nice that Arrestramon, for example, can play any tamer with the hero trait. meaning in a sealed setting this is a great card to pull in combination with one of those super rare tamers. While the Digimon card game isn't perfect, there's always room for the card game to grow. And if you're unhappy with the card game, whether it be the format, the restriction list, card design, or something not even mentioned in this video, the beauty of this card game is that, like most card games, they provide surveys with the release of each product to understand whether their direction is going the right or wrong way. And if you haven't yet, I've attached the link for that very survey in the description of this video. What are your thoughts on the Digimon card game and how it's changed over the last 5 years? Are you happy with the direction things are going? Is sealed getting better? Is your favorite Digimon getting love? Or are you still twiddling your thumbs waiting for your favorite Digimon to get some love and support that makes it tier 0? Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you next time. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.